My name's Adam Marton. I'm a faculty member here at Merrill College. I run the Data and Graphics CNS Bureau. I also teach data visualization, and I teach the interactive design and development class. And so my focus is on data and coding and design and infographics and just sort of everything design and technology related in journalism. Before coming to Merrill, I worked at the Baltimore Sun for about 13 years, where I ran the data and graphics desk there. So I think data journalism falls into lots of different categories, sort of big and small. So the first step is sort of looking at data, finding data, whether that's through open data portals or through FOIAs. Then ultimately you have to sort of clean that data to get it in a space that it can be analyzed, and then analyzing the data to find what's interesting in it. And that's, a process that is very close to what reporters do when they talk to sources. And ultimately, data journalism is finding a story within that data that's interesting and then reporting that out as far as you need to. These days, data is such an integral skill set for young journalists that I think oftentimes we're seeing investigative journalists having data skills, or there being this class of job called data reporters, where they're doing all those initial sort of things with the data, and then they're following through and doing the reporting themselves. Data visualization is sort of a subset of data journalism, and it's everything from making basic charts and graphs and maps, just really basic what we call visualizations of data that help sort of contextualize the news. But increasingly these days, what we see from data visualization is more than just bar charts and line charts and maps, but we see more like customized graphics that are very, very important to the storytelling. These days, data visualization has sort of moved past just being these sort of simple graphics and onto something a little bit more complex and with sort of a richer visual vocabulary that I think readers and users are sort of expecting to see. So CNS has a number of bureaus. I'm covering national news at the DC Bureau and covering the state legislature at the Annapolis Bureau. And we have a broadcast bureau as well. And the role we play is covering stories with data, covering stories visually, and also maintaining the CNS website and any new sort of products. There's nothing I have to cover, so I try to meet students like where they are and see how I can be most beneficial to them in their future careers. So I have students who are probably going to be traditional reporters when they graduate. I have some folks who want to be data journalists. I have some folks who are more interested in data and graphics, and some folks who aren't going to go into journalism at all. So I try to talk to them in the beginning and see what they're interested in and make sure, give them a beat and make sure that they're working on stuff that is going to help them achieve their goals and help them get a job, whatever that is, when they get out. We cover a lot, and there's nothing that I absolutely have to cover. Most semesters, sometimes there is. So I have the luxury of really sort of tailoring the experience to what students want to get out of it. And I really like that a lot. My favorite part about this job is helping people get jobs and seeing them go off into the world and start amazing careers. Merrill's such a great place, and the students are absolutely brilliant. The one thing that I've noticed over the years is that we've increasingly have students that are double majors with journalism in the iSchool, and they are by far the students that are most prepared to do the kind of work that I teach, because they're getting so much data and coding skills from the iSchool. So we thought it was natural that we sort of create some sort of partnership with them. Frankly, we aren't able, as a small school with a small faculty, aren't able to offer as many classes as the iSchool is in various data topics. And it's a great program that really helps prepare students for a wide variety of future careers, really fascinating careers too, in UI and UX and video game design and sort of all kinds of what you might call comp-sci light type careers. So it seemed like a natural fit with the direction we were going with our data journalism work, was to sort of create some sort of master's program where people could take classes in the iSchool and take classes at Merrill and come out with a joint data journalism degree. And one of the real advantages of that is that you can take it remotely, so you don't have to be on campus to take it, and it's totally focused on data journalism. So it's where you come for our regular graduate degree here, and it's, you're going to learn all kinds of different skills. This is very strongly focused on people that want to do data journalism. I think it's an incredible program, and one of the only ones of its kind in the country. A couple years ago, when I first started, we had almost no one that was graduating from this program and going off into the world to be a data journalist. And these days, we're graduating people every single semester who are going off and getting jobs as data journalists at the Associated Press, at the Washington Post, at NPR, all over the country. That's a great change. And the reason is because leadership has sort of put a focus on that and allowed us to, hired more faculty and allowed us to teach more classes. And we've just given people so many more opportunities to sort of focus in on data. Instead of being siloed, everybody in their own little place, focusing on what they're focused on, we all sort of work together to figure out how we can sort of give students the best experience, but also create really impactful, and in many cases, award-winning journalism. The two things that are amazing about Merrill are the faculty and the students. I've always felt very welcomed here, and I really love working in a place that has a strong mix of both academic research faculty and also professional faculty. I think it's important that, we have the research folks that are looking at ways that we can take journalism into the future and solve the problems of journalism, and that we have the professional folks who are really able to help the students get the skills that they need to go out in the world and get jobs, because that's what a lot of them want. The students are absolutely extraordinary. I've worked at other colleges before, and this is a really hard school to get into. I've always been amazed at just sort of the level that students come into the school. Not only are they hardworking, but they already sort of understand the job that they're trying to get. They're passionate about journalism. Many of them are very idealistic and want to make a difference. It's just a joy every day being able to come to work and work with a great faculty and a great student body. And I just have never had any issues here at all. It's an amazing place.